Mastering difficult negotiations. Proven strategies to turn conflict into agreement. Introduction. Negotiation is an integral part of life. From everyday interactions to high-stakes business deals, our ability to navigate conversations and reach mutually beneficial agreements shapes our success in relationships. However, not all negotiations are created equal. Some are straightforward, while others are fraught with tension, resistance, and the challenge of dealing with difficult individuals. We've all encountered them: the stubborn negotiator, the emotionally charged opponent, the individual who seems determined to derail any attempt at compromise. These encounters can leave us feeling frustrated, defeated, and uncertain about how to proceed. But what if there was a way to transform these challenging situations into opportunities for positive outcomes? This book, Mastering Difficult Negotiations, Proven Strategies to Turn Conflict into Agreement, is designed to equip you with the tools and techniques needed to navigate the complexities of difficult negotiations with confidence and skill. We'll move beyond the traditional negotiation tactics and delve into the psychological and strategic nuances that allow you to effectively manage challenging personalities and achieve your desired results. Inside, you'll discover practical strategies for gaining emotional control, learning to step back, manage your reactions, and maintain a clear perspective, even in the face of intense pressure. Building empathy and understanding, mastering the art of active listening and seeing the situation from the other person's point of view, fostering trust and rapport. Shifting the dynamics, moving from adversarial positions to collaborative problem solving, using creative techniques to overcome impasses. Facilitating agreement, addressing hidden barriers, involving the other party in the process, and ensuring that everyone feels valued and respected. Managing the no, understanding how to educate on consequences, explore alternatives, and structure agreements to minimize risks and maximize satisfaction. This book is not about manipulation or coercion. It's about developing the skills to build bridges, find common ground, and achieve mutually beneficial outcomes, even when faced with the most challenging negotiators. By mastering the strategies outlined in these pages, you'll not only enhance your negotiation abilities, but also strengthen your relationships and improve your overall effectiveness in any interaction. Prepare to transform your approach to negotiation and unlock the potential to turn conflict into agreement. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Foundation of Negotiation, Preparation and Awareness. Negotiation isn't just about the words exchanged across a table, it's a process that begins long before the first handshake. To effectively navigate difficult negotiations, you need a solid foundation built on preparation and self-awareness. This chapter will explore the essential first steps in mastering this crucial skill. The balcony technique, stepping back and managing emotions. One of the most significant challenges in dealing with difficult individuals is managing your own emotional reactions. When faced with aggression, stubbornness, or manipulation, it's easy to get caught up in the moment and react impulsively. This is where the balcony technique comes into play. Imagine you're in a theater watching a play unfold. The stage is the negotiation, and you are both a character and a member of the audience. To take the balcony view, you mentally step away from the stage and observe the situation from a higher perspective. This mental distance allows you to detach from immediate emotional responses. Instead of reacting defensively, you can observe your emotions without being controlled by them. Gain clarity. From the balcony, you can see the broader context of the negotiation, including the other person's behavior and potential motivations. Create a pause. This pause provides time to consider your next move rather than reacting in the heat of the moment. Practical steps for taking the balcony view. Recognize your triggers. Identify the types of behavior that tend to provoke strong emotional reactions in you. Create physical or mental breaks. If possible, take a brief break from the negotiation. Excuse yourself to get water, use the restroom, or simply take a few deep breaths. Practice mindfulness. Regularly practicing mindfulness techniques can help you become more aware of your emotions and develop the ability to detach from them. Defining your objectives, interests versus positions. Before entering any negotiation, it's crucial to clarify your objectives. However, there's a critical distinction to be made between positions and interests. Positions. These are the specific demands or solutions you present. For example, I want a 10% raise. Interests. These are the underlying needs, desires, and concerns that drive your positions. For example, I want a 10% raise because I need to feel valued and financially secure. Focusing on interests rather than positions opens up possibilities for creative solutions. When you understand the other person's interests, you can find common ground and develop mutually beneficial agreements. Tips for defining your objectives. Ask why. Repeatedly ask yourself why to uncover the deeper interests behind your positions. Prioritize your interests. Determine which interests are most important to you and which are negotiable. Anticipate the other person's interests. Try to understand what the other person might be trying to achieve beyond their stated positions. Analyzing the conflict from an external perspective. To gain a more objective understanding of the negotiation, try to analyze the conflict as if you were a neutral third party. This involves identifying the key issues. What are the main points of contention? Understanding the perspectives of all parties. What are the needs, concerns, and motivations of each individual involved? Assessing the power dynamics. Who has the most influence in the negotiation? Considering potential outcomes. What are the possible scenarios, and what are the potential consequences of each? By taking this objective approach, you can gain valuable insights and develop a more effective negotiation strategy. In summary, preparation and awareness are the cornerstones of successful negotiation. By mastering the balcony technique, clarifying your objectives, and analyzing the conflict from an external perspective, you'll be well equipped to handle even the most challenging negotiations. Chapter 2. Active listening and empathy. Understanding the other person. In the realm of difficult negotiations, understanding the other person is not just a courtesy, it's a strategic imperative. When dealing with challenging personalities, empathy and active listening can dismantle barriers, build trust, and pave the way for productive dialogue. This chapter will explore how to truly connect with the other side, even when they seem resistant. Stepping into their shoes. The importance of empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. It's about putting yourself in their shoes and seeing the world from their perspective. In a negotiation, empathy allows you to identify underlying motivations. Understanding why someone is acting a certain way can reveal their true interests. Build rapport. Showing genuine empathy can create a sense of connection and reduce defensiveness. Anticipate reactions. By understanding their perspective, you can better anticipate their responses and tailor your approach accordingly. To cultivate empathy, practice these techniques. Actively seek to understand. Don't just listen to respond. Listen to truly understand their point of view. Acknowledge their feelings. Even if you don't agree, acknowledge their emotions. For example, I understand you're feeling frustrated. Ask clarifying questions. Use questions to deepen your understanding and show that you're genuinely interested. Listening without interruption, creating a trusting environment. Active listening is a critical component of empathy. It involves paying full attention to what the other person is saying, both verbally and nonverbally. When you listen without interruption, you show respect. It signals that you value their opinions and perspectives. Gain valuable information. You can uncover hidden concerns and interests by allowing them to speak freely. Create a safe space. It encourages them to open up and share their thoughts. Tips for active listening. Maintain eye contact. Show that you're engaged and attentive. Avoid interrupting. Let them finish their thoughts before responding. Use verbal and nonverbal cues. Nod. Make brief affirmations, and use open body language. Summarize and reflect. Periodically summarize what they've said to ensure you've understood correctly. Validating emotions. Apologies and acknowledgement. Sometimes, the most powerful way to de-escalate a tense situation is to validate the other person's emotions. This involves acknowledging their feelings, even if you don't agree with their perspective. Apologies. If you've made a mistake or caused offense, offer a sincere apology. This can go a long way in rebuilding trust. Acknowledgement. Acknowledge their feelings by saying things like, I can see that you're upset, or I understand your concerns. By validating their emotions, you show that you're listening and that you care about their perspective. Using yes and to avoid creating barriers. The language you use can significantly impact the outcome of a negotiation. Instead of using but, which often negates what the other person has said, use yes and but creates defensiveness. It signals disagreement and can shut down communication. Yes and builds on their ideas. It acknowledges their perspective and adds your own, fostering collaboration. For example, instead of, "That's a good point, but we have limited resources," try, "Yes, that's a good point, and we can explore how to allocate our resources more efficiently." This simple change in language can make a significant difference in creating a positive and collaborative atmosphere. By mastering active listening and empathy, you can build stronger relationships, uncover hidden interests, and navigate difficult negotiations with greater ease. Chapter 3. Shifting the game, Strategies for Overcoming Impasse. Even with careful preparation and empathetic listening, negotiations can reach a standstill. When faced with an impasse, it's crucial to shift the game and introduce new strategies to break the deadlock. This chapter will explore various techniques to move beyond entrenched positions and find creative solutions. From argument to problem solving, a proactive approach. When negotiations devolve into arguments, it's time to change the focus. Instead of debating positions, adopt a problem-solving approach. This involves reframing the situation, present the negotiation as a shared challenge that you both need to overcome. Collaborative brainstorming, encourage both parties to generate ideas and explore potential solutions together. Focusing on common goals, identify shared interests and work towards outcomes that benefit everyone. This shift from adversarial to collaborative thinking can transform the dynamics of the negotiation. Seeking advice, involving others in finding solutions. Sometimes, the best way to break an impasse is to seek advice from a neutral third party. This can involve asking for suggestions, encourage the other party to offer their ideas on how to resolve the issue. Bringing in a mediator, a neutral third party can help facilitate communication and find common ground. Consulting with experts, seek advice from individuals with specialized knowledge or experience in the relevant area. By involving others, you can gain fresh perspectives and generate new solutions. Exploring interests, the why technique. As discussed in Chapter 1, understanding the other person's interests is crucial. The why technique involves asking probing questions to uncover the underlying motivations behind their positions. Repeatedly asking why. Don't settle for surface-level answers. Keep asking why until you reach the core interests. Active listening. Pay close attention to their responses and look for clues about their true needs and desires. Summarizing and reflecting. Ensure you understand their interests by summarizing and reflecting back what you've heard. By understanding their interests, you can find solutions that address their needs while also meeting your own. Using hypothetical scenarios, the power of what if. Hypothetical scenarios can help you explore different options and assess potential outcomes. What if questions. Use what if questions to explore different possibilities and encourage creative thinking. Scenario planning. Develop multiple scenarios and analyze the potential consequences of each. Exploring alternatives. Use hypothetical scenarios to identify alternative solutions that might be acceptable to both parties. This technique can help you break free from rigid positions and explore new possibilities. Testing seriousness. How to handle ultimatums. Ultimatums can be a tactic used by difficult negotiators. However, it's essential to test their seriousness before conceding. Ignoring the ultimatum. Sometimes, ignoring an ultimatum can cause the other party to back down. Asking for clarification. Ask them to clarify the consequences of their ultimatum. Exploring alternatives. Suggest alternative solutions that might be acceptable to both parties. By testing their seriousness, you can avoid giving in to empty threats. Turning non-cooperation into an advantage. When faced with non-cooperation, don't give up. Instead, find ways to turn it into an advantage. Shifting the burden. If they refuse to cooperate, find ways to shift the burden onto them. Highlighting the consequences. Explain the potential consequences of their non-cooperation. Finding alternative solutions. Look for alternative ways to achieve your goals without their cooperation. By being resourceful and creative, you can turn their non-cooperation into an opportunity. By implementing these strategies, you can shift the game and overcome impasses, even in the most challenging negotiations. Chapter 4. Building bridges, facilitating agreement. After successfully navigating the challenges and shifting the dynamics of a difficult negotiation, the next crucial step is to build bridges and facilitate a mutually agreeable outcome. This chapter will explore strategies to overcome hidden barriers and create an environment conducive to reaching a lasting agreement. Overcoming hidden barriers, interests, ideas, fears, and timing. Even when both parties seem willing to compromise, hidden barriers can impede progress. These barriers often fall into four categories: interests, unmet or unaddressed needs and desires; ideas, resistance to new or unfamiliar solutions; fears, concerns about potential risks or negative consequences; timing, disagreements about the pace or sequence of actions. To overcome these barriers, identify underlying interests, use active listening and probing questions to uncover hidden needs. Encourage brainstorming, create a safe space for exploring new ideas and solutions. Address fears and concerns, acknowledge and validate their concerns, and offer solutions to mitigate risks. Be flexible with timing, allow for adjustments in the timeline or sequence of actions. Involving the other party in the process, creating a sense of ownership. People are more likely to support agreements they feel they've helped create. Involving the other party in the process fosters a sense of ownership and increases the likelihood of a successful outcome. Seek their input, ask for their ideas and suggestions throughout the negotiation. Collaborative decision-making. Work together to develop solutions and make joint decisions. Acknowledge their contributions, recognize and appreciate their efforts and contributions. Satisfying unmet interests, finding creative solutions. The key to a lasting agreement is to satisfy the underlying interests of both parties. This often requires creative problem-solving and a willingness to explore unconventional solutions. Brainstorming sessions. Dedicate time to generate a wide range of potential solutions. Exploring trade-offs. Identify areas where you can make concessions in exchange for gains in other areas. Developing win-win solutions. Seek outcomes that address the needs of both parties. Preserving dignity. The importance of saving face. No one wants to feel like they've lost a negotiation. Preserving the other person's dignity is essential for building trust and maintaining a positive relationship. Avoid public humiliation. Be mindful of their reputation and avoid actions that could embarrass them. Frame concessions positively. Present concessions as strategic choices rather than defeats. Offer face-saving options. Provide opportunities for them to accept the agreement without appearing weak. Proceeding gradually, the slow down to speed up strategy. Rushing to an agreement can lead to misunderstandings and resentment. The slow down to speed up strategy involves taking the time to build trust and ensure that everyone is comfortable with the process. Build rapport. Invest time in getting to know the other person and building a positive relationship. Communicate clearly. Ensure that everyone understands the terms of the agreement. Allow for reflection. Give them time to consider the implications of the agreement. By building bridges and facilitating agreement, you can transform difficult negotiations into opportunities for positive outcomes. Chapter 5. The Last Resort. Managing the lack of agreement. Despite our best efforts, some negotiations may not result in a mutually acceptable agreement. In such cases, it's crucial to have a plan for managing the lack of agreement and minimizing potential negative consequences. This chapter will explore strategies for navigating these challenging situations and ensuring a productive outcome, even when a formal agreement is not reached. Educating on consequences. The logic of facts. When negotiations reach an impasse, it's essential to ensure that the other party fully understands the potential consequences of failing to reach an agreement. This involves presenting factual information, clearly and objectively outline the potential outcomes of not reaching an agreement. Highlighting the risks. Emphasize the potential negative consequences for both parties. Using data and evidence. Support your claims with relevant data and evidence. By educating the other party on the consequences, you can help them make informed decisions and potentially encourage them to reconsider their position. Exploring alternatives. What happens if? And what will you do if? When an agreement seems unlikely, it's crucial to explore alternative solutions and consider potential next steps. What happens if? Scenarios. Use what happens if questions to explore the potential outcomes of different courses of action. What will you do if? Questions. Encourage the other party to consider their options and potential next steps. Identifying BATNA, Best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Determine your best alternative if you cannot reach an agreement. By exploring alternatives, you can identify potential solutions and ensure that you have a plan in place, even if an agreement is not reached. Ensuring mutual satisfaction, a fair and lasting agreement. Even if a formal agreement is not reached, it's essential to strive for mutual satisfaction. This involves maintaining a positive relationship, even if you disagree. Maintain a respectful and professional relationship. Seeking common ground. Identify areas of agreement and build on them. Focusing on future interactions. Consider the long-term implications of your actions and strive to maintain a positive relationship. By ensuring mutual satisfaction, you can lay the groundwork for future interactions and potentially revisit the negotiation at a later time. Minimizing risks. Structuring agreements intelligently. If an agreement is reached, it's crucial to structure it in a way that minimizes risks and ensures compliance. This involves clear and specific language. Use clear and unambiguous language to avoid misunderstandings. Contingency clauses. Include clauses that address potential risks and outline steps to be taken in specific situations. Phased implementation. Implement the agreement in phases to allow for adjustments and ensure that everyone is comfortable with the process. By structuring agreements intelligently, you can minimize risks and ensure that everyone understands their responsibilities. Planning for contingencies, clauses, and emergency plans. Even with careful planning, unexpected events can occur. It's essential to have contingency plans in place to address potential problems. Contingency clauses. Include clauses in the agreement that address potential problems and outline steps to be taken. Emergency plans. Develop plans for addressing potential problems that may arise outside of the agreement. Regular reviews. Schedule regular reviews of the agreement to ensure that it remains relevant and effective. By planning for contingencies, you can minimize the impact of unexpected events and ensure that the agreement remains effective. By mastering these strategies, you can effectively manage the lack of agreement and ensure a productive outcome, even in the most challenging situations. Conclusion. Negotiation as a continuous process, learning and improvement. Navigating the complexities of difficult negotiations is not a one-time skill, it's a continuous journey of learning and improvement. The strategies and techniques explored in this book are not merely tools to be used in specific situations, but principles to be integrated into your everyday interactions. The key takeaway is that negotiation is fundamentally about understanding people, building relationships, and finding mutually beneficial solutions. It's about moving beyond adversarial positions and embracing a collaborative approach, even when faced with challenging personalities. Throughout this book, we've emphasized the importance of self-awareness, taking the balcony view, managing your emotions, and understanding your own interests. Empathy and active listening, truly understanding the other person's perspective and building trust. Creative problem solving, shifting the game, exploring alternatives, and finding innovative solutions. Building bridges, facilitating agreement, addressing hidden barriers, and preserving dignity. Strategic planning, managing the lack of agreement, minimizing risks, and ensuring long-term satisfaction. By consistently applying these principles, you'll not only enhance your negotiation skills, but also develop stronger relationships and improve your overall effectiveness in any interaction. The importance of ethics in negotiation, building strong relationships. Beyond the tactical aspects of negotiation, it's crucial to remember the importance of ethics. Ethical negotiation is not just about avoiding deception or manipulation, it's about building trust, fostering transparency, and maintaining integrity. When you negotiate ethically, you build long-term relationships. Trust is the foundation of any successful relationship, and ethical behavior builds trust. Enhance your reputation. Your reputation as a fair and trustworthy negotiator will precede you. Create a positive environment. Ethical negotiations create a positive and collaborative environment for all parties involved. Remember that negotiation is not about winning at all costs. It's about finding solutions that benefit everyone involved. By prioritizing ethics and building strong relationships, you can create a positive impact on your personal and professional life. As you continue your journey of mastering difficult negotiations, remember that every interaction is an opportunity to learn and grow. Embrace the challenges, apply the strategies, and always strive to build bridges and find common ground. The art of negotiation is a lifelong pursuit. By continuously learning and improving, you can transform conflicts into opportunities and build a more harmonious and successful future.